Janet's beef with Kamala Harris over past comments on the MJ trial. Is this about the king of pop? Well, we'll see. We'll see if that's what this is about, because Janet Jackson seems very strong. Remember, she retracted the apology that member of her team put out. So here's what's behind this. Previously, during an interview with The Guardian, Janet Jackson inaccurately claimed Kamala Harris's father was white, despite being corrected by the interviewer. Jackson would then fire the person from her team who issued an apology on her behalf, and she didn't retract her statement on Harris. Fans speculated that her ignorance of politics or her receiving bad advice from brother Randy was the source of her criticism of Harris. However, Jackson's issues with Kamala Harris might go further back than this presidential campaign. What is going on? Well, we'll tell you. In the wake of Janet's criticisms of Kamala, footage from 2004 popped up on the internet showing then San Francisco Deputy City Attorney Harris sharing her 2 cents on Michael's impending trial. She stated in the clip, in general, the child will be able to recall and recollect some detail of the incident, and that is persuasive to a jury, even if it is the only testimony that is available. Michael was arrested in 2003, charged with 7 counts of child molestation, 2 counts of administering an intoxicating agent for the purpose of committing a felony. King of Pop denied the allegations at the time, pled not guilty to the charges. More than a year later, his trial began. He was acquitted on all counts in May 2005. Harris's remarks about such a dark moment in the Jackson family history might explain why Janet is trying to discredit her. Mind you, Harris was not involved in MJ's trial. She was merely speaking to a news outlet as an expert. They asked, she answered. This according to TMZ.
With millions watching and many people benefiting from this program called Indisputable, we just need 1% of the viewers to become a paid member so we can continue to bring this content to you. Now back to the show.
Now, during an interview with TMZ, D.L. Hughley said Janet Jackson knows good and well what she's doing by questioning Kamala Harris's race. And he thinks Janet wants to hurt the V. DL says Janet is peddling far-right lies. He thinks it's ironic she's falsely claiming Harris's father is white when there are questions about the Jackson family actually wanting to be white themselves, according to DL. For the comedian, Janet's trying to be white with her surgically altered nose. He thinks this whole racial commentary coming from the singer is, quote, rich. DL first made these assertions during a Twitter rant last week. First posting Janet Jackson's interview sounded like a hashtag Trump rally. FYI, it's a little ironic to question whether someone is black while you're breathing through the nose of a white woman. Hashtag team DL. He always ends it like that, even when he obliterates someone. Team DL. Hashtag team DL. Maybe I'll start ending my post with something like that. Well, he would then post Kamala Harris looks the way she does because she has mom from India, dad from Jamaica. Hashtag Janet Jackson looks the way she does because she has a plastic surgeon. Team DL. He would send this rant with, quote, all I know is Kamala looks like she did when she was in Oakland, but Janet don't look like she did when she was Penny. What the hell was in that iron? Now, perhaps you're too young. I don't know if you've seen the episodes, the reruns. JJ, what's happening?
Never
Penny
watched Good Times before. No. Nope.
Well, I'm about to tell you, well, she was abused and burned with an iron. That was a plot line. And that is what DL is recalling. So for those of you who aren't understanding, look, you know, she played Penny. Looked a little different back then, sure. She wasn't as nasty, apparently. Wasn't as nasty. So he's bringing up her role, her most famous role as a child actor. He is saying that you're one to talk with your surgical nose of a white woman, according to DL. Others have said the same thing. What do you make of this theory that Janet is upset because Kamala Harris when you look at the statement that's attributed to Kamala back then, she's called by a news outlet. You know, we pester people, bring them in. Well, what could happen here? Well, a child's memory, she said, could be enough. Again, the king of pop found not guilty, wasn't enough for some people who still believe it. But what do you make of the theory that that's what Janet's beef is here?
I think that would probably be the theory that shed her in the most favorable light, in the sense that she's coming to the defense of her brother, who she loves, and she feels very protective of his name and legacy and what have you. I would venture to a guess that it's probably something way pettier than that. Probably just some celebrity, black elite tiff. If I had to venture any guess, lucky for us and all of us, nobody gives a crock of what about what Janet Jackson thinks of the state of the presidential race. So we don't got to get too, we don't got to get our panties in a bunch too much about this. I know I won't get mine. But yeah, if I could venture a guess, I bet you it's not the Michael thing. It's something way pettier.
Do you care what my theory is?
I would love to hear your theory.
Janet Jackson's just dippy and just said some dippy stuff from across the pond. I think she's just dippy. I think she's just really dippy. And now that Randy, her brother, is her manager, who does peddle in these, he's a big Trump supporter, peddles in these conspiracy
Never
theories.
knew that. Okay.
I think they're maybe chatting or FaceTiming, and Dippy does boomerang back and forth sometimes between these family members. I think it's giving her too much credit to believe that she was watching the news back then and saw Kamala Harris and put two and two together. Now, I'm sorry. Okay. I'm sorry. I like the music, Rhythm Nation. Okay. But knock it off and stop this, will you? Why is Randy your manager? There's something very strange going on. But then again, stranger things have happened with the Jackson family. We wish them the best. We know there was a recent loss in the family. But Janet's on an island here, and DL is circling like a shark. Team DL, I'll give you the last word.
I'm actually interested in what Janet is up to on a day to day. I'd love to see
Well,
what is she eating for breakfast and dinner?
Okay.
Who's she hanging out with these days? Does she even leave the house at all? I would love to see what Janet Jackson's day to day is like in 2024. I'd be fascinated by that.
Okay.
Still pretty hot too. I mean,
okay. Well, then it's just me that could care less. And I don't want anything bad to happen to Janet. I just think, girl, bye. Have a seat. Okay. I'd rather watch Mariah Carey's reality show that was short-lived. But there were some moments. Okay. I don't know what she's doing. I wish the Jacksons the best. Team DL. I did find that humorous and very cutting.